We are live, at least. That is what YouTube tells me. So we go for that.
We can only hope.
Hi, everyone. This is Toni Weel from, let's say it, Fun with Detox, the key to health. I like that. Fun with Detox. I know it's not easy, but, we try it anyway. And we have with us Sarah from Virtuous Unicorns. And well, where shall we start today, Sarah? I see we don't have any guests, which is, I guess everybody is healthy, has no questions.
We don't have any guests calling in today, but if even anyone in the chat would like to call in, I think are we able just to send a link to them?
Oh yeah, I can still send a link. You can come in at any time. Actually, you know what? Why don't you post the link here and let's be surprised?
That would be good.
If anyone is feeling like joining us, sharing with us, teaching us.
Do I just post the link then?
Yeah, it's only the Zoom link. You don't need the full phone part, just the Zoom link.
Got it.
And I know we are a little earlier today, so people may have set their clock, their alarm for noon, but
yes, I apologize. That's for me. I do have an appointment that I cannot cancel, so yes. Yeah,
it works. Whatever we go over, it's still available later.
Absolutely.
There was actually an interesting question, and that seems to come up quite a few times, is like about seeds in the fruit. We only see the seedless grapes and we see the seedless watermelon. And I cannot even remember in the last, probably 5 to 10 years, actually, not seeing any seeded watermelon or seeded grapes.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to find. I was actually discussing that with somebody before too. They were saying that all of our fruit has, like GMO and stuff like that too. And, it's the basic, what we always say, just do the best with what you have. And, try to buy local from local farmers or whatnot. And if anything, if you have the ability, grow your own.
Yeah, I tried that, by the way, with grapes, but they were not happy here. So they started growing and then they gave up. So I have to start again. But not everything that is not seeded is GMO. We know what GMO stands for, but that was the first time used. And that was in relation to the pesticides.
Mm-hmm.
Not every fruit that's a hybrid of being manipulated is bad for us. I mean, if we go there, I think there wouldn't be much to eat.
No, there wouldn't be. And we just have to do with the best of what we can do with. Is all we can really do.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. So in organic or with organics, I mostly see the green grapes. Now, if you want to detox and specifically using the grapes, then the darker, the better. The black grapes are absolutely amazing, and I have only seen them once or twice, very limited in organics, the black grapes. And but right now I saw that actually non-organic black grapes were available, so I have been using them, and I have a little pesticide radar in my mouth. Anything with pesticides burns in my mouth, so I know I have to clean those grapes really, really well, and it works.
Yep.
So I can clean them enough to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is another thing with grapes, and that is when you can't get anything, because wherever you are, they may be out of season, and you still want to have the benefits of astringent grapes that helps you with detoxing. You can buy them in bottled. Lakewood has it, and there is another brand that I forgot. But those are the black Concord grapes, and they are amazing. And Dr. Morse assured us that even the bottled grapes, because they're pesticide, pesticide, pasteurized, Tony. And they're still good. They're still very astringent. And if you can't get any fresh ones, then that's where what you go for. So yes, ideal is organic dark grapes. Then you get the non-organic dark grapes, and then you get the the bottled ones. But make sure that you buy the ones that's organic, not from concentrate, and no added sugar, no added anything.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you are going to go that route where you're drinking it, how much should people be drinking? Because I know we discussed before how many grapes it's actually going to take to make a cup of grape juice.
Well, what I found is with grape juice, I cannot even handle that much at a time. It's actually a small glass at a time. It's the same with eating grapes. I once had a big bowl, like 2 pounds of grapes here. It took me the whole day to get them down. So you just go with what you feel. It wouldn't be safe actually to say, oh, you have to drink this or this much. That's not going to work. So, you go with one glass. It depends on also if you want to go like the 30 or 40 days of grape fast.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that if you cannot get anything else. You can do that with the bottled one, but it's you wouldn't even drink a whole bottle at a time, not even for a meal. I think it takes about what was it, 3 or 4 pounds to make a quart or a liter of juice.
Yeah.
So it takes quite a bit of juice, and I just had. A few days ago, we juiced a bottle. We didn't use the bottle. We juiced the grapes to make a full 1 liter bottle.
Wow. Yep.
And it took me actually pretty much the whole day, because it's very sweet. Even though I do add a lemon because it's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I definitely like eating grapes more than I like drinking the grape juice, at least the stuff we buy. I've never actually made grape juice at home. I think my juicer can make it, but I've never actually done it before. Think about it.
Yeah, it can be done. The juicer. I have the Nama juicer, so everyone who would wonder what kind of juicer would be best, and I really tried them all, from the cheap ones to the expensive ones that I actually found on the marketplace on Facebook. So if you're looking for a juicer and you don't want to spend a few $100s, you can find those cold pressed juicers, like, what is the name? Green something.
I'm
very well known brand, and I actually have 2 of one. One I bought for $25, and the other one I bought that was brand new, for $150, and those things are over $500 normally.
Oh yeah.
But as well as they juice, they are, oh my gosh, they are bad in cleaning.
Yes.
I almost didn't want to use them because the cleaning was such a mess, and it takes forever. And for me, it is like I want to have a lot of juice, very, very little pulp, or dry pulp, actually, dry pulp. So I know that I have all the juice, and it has to be easy to clean.
Mm-hmm.
So when I read about the Nama juicer, and I think that one was called 5800, or was it 8500 something?
5800. I'm looking at that one now online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is an amazing juicer. Then they came out with the J2, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband was, oh, I want this. So okay, we got that one too. And we used we keep the other one as a backup. In this one, you can put a whole bunch of the fruit in it all together.
The J2.
I'm sorry. There's no chute. You put it all in.
Nice.
And then you turn it on, you can keep where the juice comes in, you keep that closed until you're ready to pour it out. And you can just walk away and it does its job. It has a little flaw, and the company is aware of it. They have been very good with sending me a new part for it, and they said they would work on it, and they said they were going to send me a whole new machine when it's done. And that is just, so that would be my reason to say go for the older one, the 5800.
Okay. We have the Breville, and it's more of like a centrifuge one. And I really don't like that one because I feel like it's too fast and the pulp is not dry. I guess really depending on what you are juicing, but they do tell you which levels to put it at for whatever you're trying to juice. And I just don't like how fast it is. I feel like it's not getting everything out, and it's a big pain to clean, and it has like really, really sharp serrated parts that you have to clean too. And even if you're trying to clean them with a brush or a sponge or whatever, I always seem to nick my hands on it somehow, no matter how careful I am being. So I definitely do want to try to sell that one, or give it off to somebody. But I mean, they're pretty expensive too. And I do want to get the NAMA one. Will be our next one that we do get once I sell this one. But
yeah, it was said because it has an auger that it wouldn't be, somebody mentioned that in one of the groups, that because it has this auger, then it wouldn't be in a cold press, but actually it goes very slow. And it really presses it out. And thank you, Shelley, welcome. It is the Green Star. Yeah, I have two of those, and they're very heavy to ship. So I was thinking, yeah, I need to give it away to, maybe we can do some kind of a special, and give these things away, because I know I'm not going to use them anymore. But then again, I give it away to somebody, and then they have to clean the darn thing.
You know what though? I mean, if it's still a juicer though, and if it's free, it could be definitely helping somebody. That was the other thing that we had thought about too, is even though it's kind of a pain, you're not getting everything out of it, at least somebody is getting
you can clean it, as long as you keep scrubbing that little metal filter that clogs up everything, and it's not doing the grapes very well. The Green Star at least isn't, and that is why the Nama was so amazing. Everything goes through like like it's water. It's so easy to do. I can even use the what is it, the parsley.
Oh wow!
For when you do a parsley juice in the morning, and only the fibers come out. So you have all the juice and you just have the fibers left. And even that goes through easily, and it's still easy to clean.
That's great. We also have the Breville Citrus Press Pro, I believe it was, because we do, especially spring and summer, we make a lot of orange juice, and ours did break. The part where you like kind of press it down, it was just getting stuck and it was kind of grinding. So we did call Breville. It was out of the warranty, but for $60, they sent us another, like the full, I think it was like, what do they call it, remanufactured or whatnot, but they did send us a whole nother one. And this one does have a 10-month warranty on it. And that was for $60. But I mean, we basically got a quote new one with a warranty on it, but we use that thing all the time. And I'd say we probably put maybe, I don't know, 30 to 50 oranges through a day. And
that's quite a bit. I thought I was doing a lot with 20 to 30.
Well, that's for 4 people. So
yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I have another question, which is, when you're detoxing too quickly, what do you eat to rebalance? And it's not as much rebalancing as it is to slow down the detox a little. Dr. Morse calls it grounding. When you go too fast, you eat a little cooked food, or actually better steamed food, which is preferably a steamed sweet potato. You can also use something that has more fat, which is an avocado, Although I would, go for the sweet potato before you go to the avocado. And even some bananas could help you with that, because not everybody is able to cook or use an oven. So that would be the two options. What would you suggest?
The only when you say you're detoxing too fast, is it you're just can't get out of bed, you have terrible headaches, you just feel sick all the time?
Um,
Or
yeah, you can, it can go any which way. It can go that you feel jittery inside, yet lightheaded. You can
Mhm.
have all kinds of symptoms that is getting too much.
Yes.
And
My
so
husband
that
was,
is where you slow it down a little.
yeah, my husband was like bedridden for almost 2 weeks, but he had a condition that he was trying to get over, which he did. And he was like kind of borderline diabetic, and he was having the liver stuff, and he completely reversed it in 3 months. But his detox in the very beginning, because he decided just to go dive right in, he was pretty much bedridden for 2 weeks. I mean, he just felt like crap. But after that, he just slowly started feeling better. And when he went back to have everything checked again, then he was no longer in those, his markers had all come down.
Yeah, it is. How far are you willing to take it? I know it's kind of scary,
Mhm.
but when you get to when you get to that, you understand what is all going on in your body, and what detox symptoms actually are, and that they are nothing to be afraid of. But I can absolutely, I can see where you would be scared.
Yeah,
And
especially the jitteriness and stuff like that makes you feel kind of.
yeah, heart pounding, things like
Mhm.
that, very severe kidney pain. That happened to me.
Mhm.
Um, no, it didn't happen to me when I was detoxing. It happened to me when I was on all fruit and then ate something that I shouldn't eat. So that was that reaction. So it was not really a detox thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other one too is um like with diabetes too. So people that are on insulins and things like that, for detoxing too fast that way. I did get to see that firsthand, where your numbers can just drop really quickly because you're not having all that fat that's blocking the sugars from going where it's supposed to go. And if you're still taking an insulin too, that can be quite scary also for detoxing too fast.
Yeah, it is. And that is, you have to, oh, how do I say this? Make it easy to say, to, know your body, know what's going on. But if you are a diabetic, I mean, you know how to test. You just have to keep an eye on it, how it is going. That is why I always say go slow, ease into it so you do not have these symptoms.
Absolutely.
It is for me, I can easily go now, I can easily go on all fruit without any problems, but I eased into the whole transition. It took me quite a while. For my husband, for instance, if he is 2 days on all fruit, he does get detox symptoms. And although he is eating mostly fruit and raw anyway, with an occasional cooked meal, but it's yeah, go slow. That is I think that is the most important message that I can give. Don't jump in a juice fast or a water fast. I saw yesterday from someone who said, I'm going to start a water fast next week, coming out of a standard diet.
Oh
You're
no.
gonna be sick, and afterwards, what are you gonna do? You do a 7 day water fast, and then what? You go back to the food that made you sick in the first place.
Yeah.
And this is very important. And I know the same questions and answers we keep repeating it, but it is so important. Learn about what is the transitioning, what is detoxing, what is your body, how is it responding to it. Write it down. I mean, if you take this journey seriously, then keep a journal. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do to keep a journal, but write it down. Write it down what you eat. How did you sleep? You know, how often did you have to get up to pee? How much did you drink? If I ask people, you know, how much do you drink? Then it's awfully, oh, I drink a lot. And I'm like, oh, hold on, a lot? And find out they're drinking, you know, like about two gallons in a day. And it's like, oh no, your poor kidneys.
And your bladder.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, but you're overwhelming your kidneys too.
Yeah.
And even if you have, and then I noticed that if I don't drink a lot, I have to get up at night more often to pee, which is like, how did that work?
Mhm.
So it is always the kidney. Be nice to your body, love your body, you know, love everything that's going on. I when I started this a few years ago, I was like, I have to learn how to embrace whatever symptom showed up, you know, whatever weird pain that you could have somewhere, like knowing that you put in the right fuel, and by now you know what the right fuel is, and it's definitely not meat, dairy, eggs, cooked food, beans, fermented food, and you know, any of that stuff. And did I say dairy too? And is also the cheese and the yogurts. And once you start leaving that out, and you know that you put in the right foods, I call it fuel, then whatever symptom pops up, you know that something is happening there, and it doesn't have to be bad. Now, yeah, I would say if it's like, you know, it lasts for weeks, for months, and it's getting worse, you may want to look into, you know, what is going on. And that is where I like to, you know, stay connected with my clients over time. It's like, you know, how are you doing? And did some food that is not the best for you sneak in here and there? And could that have been the problem? You know, you're not losing weight. What is going on? How is your thyroid working? And this is actually where the herbal formulas pop up. That's where you know, you need some assistance with the herbal formulas to get the parasites out. Oh my gosh, I just got heard from somebody who had seen parasites coming through the skin and pop up their head and then disappear again, and asked me if we had to do a parasite cleanse. I think so.
Yeah, I'd say so.
The question was more, can parasites live in the soft tissue of the body? Because you don't even want to think about how they can get there, but we know they can be in the soft tissue of animals. We've seen that in pork, in fish. So yeah, that can be the same with humans also.
Absolutely. I mean, think about like ringworm and things like that. You know, they scabies, things like that. They burrow into the skin. You know.
Oh, now you're mentioning something about ringworm. I thought they called that ringworm because it shows up as a circle. You're saying those are actually worms that are doing that?
I believe so. I mean, now that you say it, I'm not 100% either, but I thought it was like little, yeah, like I'm gonna look up a ringworm and see what it looks like. I'm very sure it's a ringworm though. But like scabies, I think those are kind of like mites and things like that. It's a fungus. Okay, I'm sorry. Look at me speaking out of without really knowing.
Yeah, but you know, even with fungus, with molds, it's all alive, you know. It's you need to get those out. That is why we have two different parasite Dr. Morse has two different parasite cleanses. One is for the general parasite, the big ones, and everything microscopic is the microorganisms. And you know, those are the molds, the fungus, the candida, but it's still all living.
It is.
So,
Yeah, they can get in through our skin for sure.
you
We do have
know,
a
yeah,
question on here. Have you seen it yet?
no.
They want to know about hair loss with transitioning to this Eden diet. This is from Grant.
Well, to say it very simple, it is like it's actually out with the old and with the new, which of course we don't want to hear because we think we're doing everything well, and now we start losing our hair. Now, it's a good thing that I personally know about quite a few people who did lose their hair. They were only in their 30s and they got their hair back, and it was better or more in color like what it was in their youth, and it was much thicker. So I have been losing my hair and a lot, and my hair got very thin. The other thing is it has to do with the stagnation of the lymph. Now you would say for all the years that you've been eating bad and you had lymph stagnation and your hair was still okay, I actually bet, and that was the case with me before I got on mostly or all around mostly fruit, I was losing hair already, even before that. Even before I stopped eating meat and dairy and eggs, my hair was getting thinner. So you get to a point that you know that you're not healthy anymore. Although I felt before I got really sick, I felt, I felt healthy. There was nothing wrong with me. But inside your body, there's already a lot going on that you're not aware of. So then when you get to a certain age and you get all these issues, and it's like, yeah, well, you get older. I've heard that from, oh my gosh, 40 on. And even now, well, yeah, we get older. So, this happens. It only happens because your body is actually full of junk and waste, and it needs to come out. Now, with getting on with starting the detox and getting an all fruit, Dr. Morris says it's fruit brings out the weaknesses. And for many of us, we already have brain fog, which is an indication of a stagnated lymph in the head. And I was always surprised when Dr. Moore said, when you see a young man and his head is already getting bald, then he better watch out because he has problems. So is that helping us now to know that, we're going to lose our hair when we detox? Some people don't. And yeah, they may be healthier. I mean, we all come from a different level of problems in our body. And there are certain weaknesses that we have to work on. I don't know if that was an adequate answer, but it just is what it is. It's like I go through this journey and it's like, there is no way that I could ever go back to the meat, dairy, eggs, and beans and in cooked food, in, the rice, the breads. You can't go back to that because I know what happened. I mean, I couldn't do anything. I felt like I was dying, and I probably was. At least I thought I was. I thought if this keeps going, I only have a few more months to go because I can't handle this. So you cannot go back to that way of eating. So hair loss, it is just part of the journey, and just feel, it's going to come back. And I've seen my hair is actually, it is getting a little thicker, not by much, and I had very thick hair, but it is getting thicker. And the beauty is I am not as gray as you would expect for my age. So
yeah, two things I'm thinking of right away is you see a lot of, especially men going bald earlier on in life now, but that would indicate, a lot of people do have that lymph stagnation. So that is something really interesting to look out for. And then my other thought while you were talking was, doesn't our hair, like that's how they can like pluck a piece of our hair and they can look at our DNA, they can drug test through our hair and everything too. So I just wonder if that hair that is coming out, and again, this is just wondering, is that like showing like where we were sick or where our lymph was bad and it just falls out because it doesn't need it anymore, or like our body doesn't want that on us? I don't know.
Yeah, isn't that something that the toxins are visible in your hair?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we all know, you know, your hair always falls out.
Right.
You always get new hairs, you know, replace it. But now when you get healthier, when you did your detox, so that is also the reason that the hair comes back healthier.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Because
Like I
now there are
swear,
no
my scalp
toxins
is
in
like
it.
spongy now from all the different, like, I also went to a long time ago, you could go to Aveda, which I don't know if you still can, but it's like one of those shampoo stores that are in the mall, and they'll take a picture of your scalp and you can see you have 1, 2, 6, 8 hairs growing out of one follicle. Well, back then, like maybe I had like 2 to 4 out of each hair follicle. So I wonder now if I have like maybe 8 because it's like it's so
Yeah.
spongy now and it feels so wonderful. I'm so happy that my hair's coming back too. And
Yeah, it is amazing. And it is a good thing to know, you know, because going bald, it's not something that especially, you know, as women are looking forward to. And actually most men don't like it either.
mm-mm.
And yeah, that is a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that is wonderful. And Grant, 50 is definitely not old, especially if you're going on this path now, because then when Passover comes, death will pass you over, and then you will start just getting younger. So keep on the path, keep eating your fruit, and belly breathe, meditate, and just be virtuous in your day to day, and you will just start to get younger.
Yeah, that is always good to know, especially with the number that I am facing in what is it? 2 weeks.
38? Yeah, 38 in.
Yeah, forever 38.
Yeah. Feeling Groovy says, does premature gray or white hair, or is it a telltale sign of dis-ease in our bodies?
I would think so. It is yeah. You know, my mother turned gray before she was 30 years old. So she dyed her whole life. She died just before her 89th birthday, and you know, that was she didn't have to die. But anyway, she had complaining her whole life about all her aches and pains, and that started in her 30s already. But she still lived, you know, a pretty long life. So yeah, I would say it is an indication. I don't like it because my daughter turned gray. Oh my gosh, years ago already, and but she is okay with it. And yeah, I don't know. We don't know what's all going on. I've never read her eyes, so I don't really know. She, you know, she's doing very good. She's very energetic. She actually, should I say that? She's actually Grant's age. I was a
How
young,
can that
I was a
be?
young
You're only
mother.
38.
I was a young mother.
Yes, a very young mother. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the age thing. I mean, sometimes we think, oh, we're at that age, and that is another thing that comes up. Are you ever too old to detox? And I would say no, absolutely not. And are you too sick to detox? No, you can only get better. You know, you cannot get worse than you already are. You can get better. And I have clients, they are way in their 80s and they're doing great. So no, we're never too old for anything. And I'm proving that day by day.
Well, our bodies are always in a state of healing too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yep, for sure.
It is healing 24/7, but when we keep putting in all that junk, then there is no energy to heal. You know, it all goes to digesting all the garbage that we ingest, and then trying to digest, and then trying to get rid of, and neither works. So it is really important to, change your diet. And sometimes I've heard now, this is another group, those are not really the fans of Dr. Morse,
Mhm.
saying that it is too strict and it's too extreme. And that is absolutely not what we are teaching. It is absolutely not extreme. We're just telling you what works. And you can do with it whatever you like. It's not, we're not saying this is not allowed, or you have to eat only this. No, it is just like this is what it does in your body for you to find out what works for you and what doesn't. And I think that is way more important than that we say, this is not allowed. And no, you see yourself what you can heal, what you can heal on.
Absolutely. And I'm also been pondering around the thoughts of, I know during one of the shows with Charlie, when he said that once you are exposed to these high teachings, and when you know better, you're still not doing better, that if you do not make it in this life and you come back, will you remember, that you need to be on this path, or will you forget everything? And in my mind, like right now, what I would like to try to do is try to really, as he says, cast your net to the right, trust in God, and try to be on this path and to really see how far I can get in this lifetime, and just really try forward with that, because once you know better, we have to do better.
Yeah,
And
but yeah.
I don't want to take the chance of what if I don't remember, and I'm reincarnated into someone that doesn't remember any of this anymore, and then having to maybe start over again. I mean, we just don't know anything about that at this point. So that's kind of the thought process that I'm taking in when I'm thinking about this too. So if people do think it's extreme, that's why we do have free will. We are allowed to do whatever we would like to do, but it's just up to you how many times you would like to try to repeat this, and how far you would like to go during this lifetime.
Yeah, it is. And I think we've all been pondering about this, how that would be, because I think that when we are born, there is a natural desire, intuition to eat fruit. A baby or a toddler, whatever, you can start them at age 6 months with a teaspoon of a little fruit and build it up. That they always rather have fruit than beans or potatoes and meat or corn and God knows what. So a baby intuitively knows what to eat. Now, throughout my life, I always was like, isn't it amazing how animals, they know what to eat. They even know what herbs to use when they are not feeling well. I've seen it with my dogs. I've seen it with my cats. But now we as people, we are dictated about what is good for us. And that happens at such a young age that, we'll eventually accept it. And some of us getting a little rebellious, like, I don't want to eat that, because, they know what is good for them and what is not. I talked to a dear friend, and she explained, and I had a podcast with her too, Magdalena, the coconut girl, and she explained how from a young age she only wanted to eat fruit. She didn't want to eat anything else. So that tells me we still have that intuition about what is good for us and what we are supposed to eat. And now we are actually fighting it. How do they say that here? Tooth and nail or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Fighting it and like, no, we need meat, and no, we need this, and no, only eating fruit. That's crazy. And that just, we got so far from our intuition. And we're trying to get it back. And the more that you do it and the more that you learn about it, the easier it is. And then it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It
And we are
really makes
kind.
sense.
Yeah, we are kind men and women, and that's what we should be. And the fruit trees and vines, they give us the fruit. I mean, if you eat it right from the tree, has anybody ever seen a mulberry tree? If you bump the branch, just or if a wind blows, the berries fall in your hands. I mean, you're not harming the tree. The tree is literally giving you food. Because I hear these comments all the time, which, they're extreme, but like, oh, well, you're killing plants, you're ripping them from the ground. And it's like, well, the plants are not for us either. Yes, we can eat them. They're just a little harder to digest. But so I hear that stuff too, or you're clear cutting the all of the fields or whatever so you can grow your plants and stuff. And so then I just come back with, we should have fruit forest, and then the forest will just keep regenerating itself. It'll provide shelter and homes for all the animals. It's a beautiful cycle how a fruit forest will actually really work. So I mean, it's just, it's really amazing how God has really put everything that we're supposed to have for us, you know, right there for us. I mean, even our eyes, we can see color. Why can we see color? So we can see our fruit. It's just, I don't know, the plan is just so simple, but everything's just been made so complicated.
It all makes sense. And it starts making more and more sense. Oh,
Uh,
there is something funny, and that's about bell peppers.
mm-hmm.
In Holland, we actually call those paprikas.
Oh.
And I have now a bell pepper plant. And the person who sold it to me, he wanted me to be aware of, and I already knew this, he wanted me to be aware of that, yes, they start out green, and then they get yellow, and then they get red. And I told that to a few people, and no, those are three different ones. And that, no, it isn't. So now with my little plant, I'm going to prove it.
I actually didn't know that either. And my brother grows green peppers, and I love walking up and looking at them when they're growing because I think they're the cutest little things growing. And then all of a sudden you get this giant pepper sitting there. But when they start out really little, they're just these cute little peppers, and they're so cute.
Yeah, well, has he ever let them be on the plant long enough to turn yellow and then turn red? Because
No.
that is the thing. When they are red, they're very sweet,
Yes.
and
I
they taste
actually,
much better than the green ones. The green ones are just unripe bell peppers.
yeah, I do not like peppers really at all. But when we do make a salsa, I will only use red and orange or yellow pepper. I will not use the green
No, because
pepper.
the greens they don't taste that good. And
Mm-mm.
actually, I just think about this now. I just put that together. I got always an upset stomach in the past because I don't eat bell peppers because of that. I always got an upset stomach, but I was used to eat the greens because in Holland you didn't see the red or the yellow ones, and they made me burp and giving gas, and they were not digesting well.
Mm-hmm.
Now now it's clear they're just not ripe.
Yes,
And
exactly.
anything unripe is not for us. So that is often because there are a lot of people who complain about bloating and gas. It only happens when things start fermenting, and that is when you put the wrong foods together.
Yes, exactly. I was watching, um, this guy had like a live video on, but he is a vegan. And again, it's your life. You decide where you would like to go, what level you want to get to in this life per se. But the whole time, and I'm not, we're more into fruit. He was definitely during the show, everyone was saying, where are you getting your protein? And he's like, well, I'm drinking this soy milk, and it has 35% more protein than dairy milk and blah, blah, blah. The whole time he is in the show, he was belching, and he was definitely, you could see him having like indigestion issues because he would kept just like, trying to clear his throat and swallow. And then also too, I could hear like the raspy, phlegmy kind of stuff. And on top of that, he had a lot of muscle. You could see he definitely worked out a lot. And but I mean, he still was preaching a good, video of like, we should not hurt animals, we should, all the stuff. But if you ever tune into any of those shows, you hear all the same stuff all the time. Where do you get your protein? And animals are here for us, and that, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the whole time I was watching him, I just kept feeling like I would like to maybe reach out and have a conversation with him, because I could see he was definitely having digestion issues with the belching, and almost like he was having indigestion come up in his mouth throughout that. But even though, he's at a supposed to be very, very fit and in good health.
Yeah, not for long.
Nope. Why don't you join us? Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be really interesting, Gary, if you did want to join and we could talk about the Garden of Eden video. I've not seen it. Have you, Toni?
No, I have not.
Is it like a documentary, or did somebody do a video or something? I'm not sure about that. While we are waiting on that, another question that I kind of had was tattoos. And I know a lot of people are getting a lot of tattoos over the past, what would you say, 5 years? They've become very popular, both men and women of all, ages, basically, I guess, above 18, if whatever, but they're getting sleeves done and their whole legs done, or giant back pieces done. How does that affect our bodies? I mean, even if it is like a vegan ink, or, I mean, there's definitely a big difference between having one than having like a whole blackout sleeve done on your arm or something.
It is, yeah, it is. It's always a toxin. I mean, it's always foreign to the body. And it kind of, yeah, I would think it kind of cells around it, they get encapsulated. So as long as you leave it alone, eventually, because I have a small tattoo, my husband has 2 on his upper arms. That was true. Navy, no, it was, yeah, he was with the Navy time. And but I do see now, I wish people wouldn't do it, and it actually stopped me from getting another tattoo. I mean, mine are, oh gosh, they are from the early 80s. So they're 40 years old. They never get sun, so they still look okay. But it is, there is now also a trend that people want to remove their tattoos. It can be done with laser, but then it actually gets into the bloodstream.
Yep, that was my next question.
So yeah, and we know things can get detoxed out. You would want to do that if you go any route. Let's say with any procedure that has to come up, because sometimes we just need to have procedures. It's like for me with my teeth, I had an accident and I lost and you can hear it when I talk. I lost one of my teeth. And actually I lost the bridge, fell out, that I had since I was 29. But I feel I have to be detoxed, get everything, get the junk out of my body now before I go to, I would need like anesthesia, because I wouldn't want to do that right now, to add, more toxins to an already toxic body. And for me, I know the journey is pretty long. And yeah, I mean, I had a lifetime of toxins in my body, and I'm not going to add more. Now, with having new tattoos, I always wanted to have a butterfly on my foot.
Mhm.
I never did it. And now I know better. I'm not going to.
Yep.
You can wonder, why is this trend? Why does everyone wants to have a tattoo now? Why is it always promoted? You know, when I got that tattoo in the early 80s, I mean, my God, my mother was totally shocked.
Yeah, you were like a rebel back then to have tattoos. I mean, but now it's everywhere. And even at the workplaces, I remember you had to have them covered. Now they can just be everywhere. Um, and and that's, again, it's your body, your temple. You're more than welcome to do anything with it. My concern was the removal of the tattoos, because isn't it true that the laser just kind of goes in and breaks up the ink,
Yeah,
but then it's up to your body to remove the ink?
yeah, to dissolve it.
So yeah,
Yeah,
your or kidneys.
yeah, that's exactly what is happening.
Oh man.
And, I wouldn't suggest that to anybody who is not healthy. So that is actually one why I'm saying that with any procedure that you need to have done, detox first, and it's the same with, we talk about people getting pregnant and not being healthy.
Yeah.
And I just heard Dr. Morris say that go and detox at least for 3 months before you try to get pregnant.
Hmm.
So you have already a lot. You get your kidneys filtering, you get the waste moving, you get your lymph waste moving, and you'll be healthier. But that is with everything. When we are healthier, we heal better.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I was just reading about growing without water and without digging up the salt and mulching and chipping in all of that good stuff. Actually, that makes me think, and I had been thinking about that, is you have a lot of the aquaponics right now, where
Mm.
you grow plants in water, and somebody said, how much sense does that actually make? Because now it does not grow in the soil. And shouldn't it be growing in the soil? And shouldn't it have the sun on it to be what it needs to be nutritious for us?
Mm. Yep, makes you kind of think about that.
It's like, if we stick with everything that should be natural, that is one of them.
Hmm.
Don't be natural. I mean, you almost don't want to use that expression because,
Right.
it's
Uh-huh.
pretty used and abused,
Yes,
the whole word natural, but you know what I mean.
absolutely. No, I've seen that. People take like cardboard boxes, they throw them on the ground, and then they take their mulch and then dirt and whatnot, and then they kind of pile it up around the plant. And so the plant's not actually digging down into the earth. You're kind of creating an area for it. And then I guess the cardboard will then maybe decompose, I guess, depending on what kind of cardboard it is. But then it also would help hold the moisture of it too. Um, but are you growing the vegetables for your livestock or for yourself? um, yeah. So plant some trees and see what we got there. I was talking to my mom. We definitely want to get some lemon trees, and we would like to try an orange tree, but at the same time, I heard it could take 3 to 5 years for the orange to bear fruit.
No, it's the same with the lemons. It's the same with most fruit.
Hmm.
I where I live right now, they don't want to put us trees up. You need permission for everything, from the
Really?
HOA. And I did not ask for permission for a big, I mean, how big is it? Maybe when I bought it, it was 5 feet tall, but that was kind of big for a plant you buy,
Hmm.
a mango tree. So I did put that in the soil, in the ground. But my other trees are all in big pots. And I mean, I'm talking about really, really big pots. I cannot say that they are thriving. They need the soil.
Yeah.
And you can put all kinds of organic soils that you buy and add stuff to it so they will grow bigger. It's still not the same, and I think that has to do with the frequencies.
Yeah.
from the roots, with the trees, with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything that I put in the soil here, it grows like crazy.
Wow.
Everything in pots is kind of so-so. I have citrus trees in pots. They are just as tall as they were 3 years ago. They're not
Wow.
thriving.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting to know. We definitely would like to start out in pots, and then see where it goes from there because we don't really have that much land either at this time. So,
So now we come to when I just mentioned that aquaponics and what you guys mentioned is like, okay, when you grow stuff like that, how would our body respond to it? Would it still be like, oh, okay, that is not that is a foreign substance, and it would still hurt our bodies?
mm-hmm,
Huh.
that's very true.
I hadn't thought about that.
Nor have I. That is something more interesting to start thinking about. Rise and Shine has a question about any suggestions on helping to stop smoking, making it a little bit easier.
Um, I have to look into that, and I know I did it quite some time ago, and of course I forgot. Um, it depends on what kind of a smoker you are. Um, for me, I was allergic to it, and I saw that as a sign, that it was time to stop. I got asthmatic bronchial asthma. Yeah, bronchial asthma. That is what they call it here. So I couldn't smoke. I could barely breathe. So I never smoked again. And some can just throw it out. I would say the more fruit that you put in your diet, and of course, always start with fruit, the easier it will be. And take it slow, if you can, stop outright and not, just stop. That would of course be the best, but other than that, if you smoke like 10 cigarettes on a day, then when you feel the need to smoke, drink or eat some fruit, and okay, that's one cigarette less.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it would work that way.
Yeah. I also have a question too is, are you smoking for stress reasons too? Or did you start smoking because you were very stressed? Or do you usually turn to cigarettes when you're having stressful situations? Because then that might also be too, is, helping your adrenals along to maybe help that kind of panic, anxiety, stressful feelings, and then maybe you won't be drawn to it as much. But I was never a smoker, fortunately, but I grew up in a time when a lot of people were. So it is one of the hardest things for people to kick. But definitely, like Toni was saying, when you get those urges, maybe have a smoothie, go for a walk, eat some fruit, and just take times to kind of like breathe, do some deep belly breathing too. She does say, Rise and Shine says yes. So I don't know if which part of that she was answering yes to, but
And
that would
I
definitely
also
be my
see,
opinion.
yeah, I also see if there any fruit that helps when you start to stop drinking coffee. The coffee actually makes the adrenals weaker,
Mm-hmm.
and we already all have weak adrenals. It is, and coffee is usually the thing that you want to do first thing in the morning. So what you do first thing in the morning, this goes for everybody, and we all need to start with fruit. This is how we break our fast. And when you sleep and you first, that is why it's called breakfast. It's just break a fast. In the morning, it has to be fruit. And replace it. For some people, they replace it with, what is it, chicory? And there are some other replacements that I don't see being too healthy because they're usually roasted. And that is not really helping you. But, drink a tea, drink the heal. We have amazing heal all tea. I
Mm-hmm.
keep saying we because that is how I see it. I've been working with Dr. Morse's products now for so long. It is, there are amazing kidney teas. And actually for Rise and Shine, I would say using the herbal formulas that help you detox your lungs would be great. And it would definitely help. And yes, stress is absolutely the worst thing for all of us. I realized I'm an emotional eater. And that was kind of a tough thing to even admit. But last week I talked about having a sick cat, and she died. She died that same afternoon. And I needed to eat. I just had to eat. And of course, I didn't eat the healthiest stuff. I didn't eat, it's still considered healthy, but not healthy for me. And it wasn't fruit. But it's stress is very difficult. And yeah, how do you deal with stress? In it, like grounding, eating more fruit. I found that I can handle stress better when I am on all fruit, amazing as it is. It just changes so much in your body and in your life. It's like stress is not that big of a deal then anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, and you have these outbursts, like when I say, when an animal, a loved animal dies, one of your pets, that is not a little stress, that is a lot of stress.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, depends on the stress. Is the stress just from day to day, your schedule, or the loss of a loved pet or a loved one? Those are two very different, stressful situations where if it's like day to day, fruit helps you kind of take it in stride. And to me, fruit also, when your body's on fruit, it helps you to really see what's more important. It just makes you so much more relaxed and not uptight. Plus, you're helping your adrenals, and that really does help with all of that too. And Rise and Shine did say it is for stress. So definitely try to do some stressful, eat your fruits, take some walks in nature, be with older trees. That's so important. And do your belly breathing. And then with the coffee, if your adrenals are down, of course, you're going to be tired in the morning. Try some fresh orange juice, fresh fruit, and just, again, our bodies are so smart. If you put the good stuff in, your body's going to crave the good stuff and it's not going to want the bad. So even if you're still drinking coffee or having a cigarette every, so often in the beginning, eventually your body will push it all out for you. And you'll just start craving. At least that's how it was for me. Like craving the good, craving the fruit. I should have said that.
I have 5 kids, 12 and under. Okay, I got your stress.
I'm not going to lay all my cards on the table, but I can guarantee you it is not a stress-free life.
No. Okay, Rise and Shine, in the show notes, there is information how you can get in touch with me. We definitely have to talk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we are going to talk one-on-one. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, that will be. Yeah, definitely get in contact with Toni. Andy says bananas in Belgium smell like paraffin. Is it
perfume?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's perfume.
Paraffin.
No, it's perfume. Yeah, that is pretty bad. I know that what they do sometimes with green bananas, they spray them so they ripen faster. So you often see then that they are at the top, they are still green while they already have brown spots on the rest and they started rotting inside. Yeah, better not to eat them. I wouldn't. If they taste like you remember that a banana should taste okay, but if they still smell like perfume once you peeled them, I don't think I would eat them.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, no, that wouldn't work.
They're scenting them
I
for a reason, maybe.
I'm sorry.
They're scenting them for a reason.
I don't know. Maybe it's like, okay, because it smells good, we buy it and we eat it. How crazy do they think we are?
Yeah, that
I
is
just
very
got
true.
these tiny, tiny bananas from, they were local. And the taste is so different than the big bananas that you buy in the grocery store.
Mm.
Now, and you do, I think you do that too. We make this nice cream from bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I use those organic big bananas, Chiquita and whatever other brand there
Mm-hmm.
is, and I see that the ice cream or nice cream is getting softer, it's kind of drips, like it has these long threads. It's kind of weird. You should try it out when you do that sometime. And I had these small bananas, and I'd frozen them, and they didn't do that, and they stayed they were still very delicious, while the big bananas don't even taste that good anymore when they are getting soft, and they get slimy. And the small bananas, I think those are the original bananas, and I mean they are really small. They are like finger size small. They don't they were even thawed and soft, they were still tasting delicious. So we're talking about the worries about GMO, but everything has been manipulated.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not mentioning this, to worry you about you cannot eat anything that is in the grocery store. It is, you do the best that you can. It is like, it is better than eating meat, dairy, eggs, and the cooked foods and the processed foods. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But should you worry about it? No, you just you just tell your body it's the healthy, it's good for you.
Yep.
Don't try that with meat though, because that is not going to work.
No, that meat is death, and if you put death in, you get
Oh
death
my
out.
gosh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And just
I
bless it and ask God to come in and bless it for you. I mean, God knows that we're doing the best with what we have, and God loves a trier. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we will get better. We will get back to better fruits, and I believe we will have more opportunities to grow our own
Mhm.
and share.
Absolutely.
I want to get a little information, and I see we're already way over our hour, about how I work. I love to talk with people. I'm always learning, and I feel that I can assist you on your journey. You can connect with me, but I would like you to fill out a health questionnaire, and that gives you. It's actually a self-assessment form, and the link is also in the show notes, I hope. And it shows you what symptom you have is related to what location in your body. So you get a better overview of what's going on. Because I hear people often say, oh, I have no problems. I have, I'm fine, I'm healthy. And then they only have one bowel movement once a day or every 3 days or even worse. That's
Mhm.
not healthy.
No.
Or they have to get up 3 times at night to pee, or they have ongoing headaches. And we have been made believe that all these things are actually healthy, and they are normal, not healthy, but they are normal, and they are not. So all this stuff is normalized, take a painkiller and you're good to go, or take something to make you go have a bowel movement, and that's all right. That's not how we work. We work with what's causing you the problems. And that is where that health questionnaire is for. And what I then do is go over with you over that health questionnaire, and from there I can suggest what herbal formulas and teas would help you on your journey. And I still don't charge, but maybe I get to a point that I actually have to charge for my time. But I do appreciate donations. And it is needed. I mean, it's an energy exchange. We all still need money to do whatever we need to do and to keep a roof over our heads. But I understand a lot of us don't have the money. That doesn't mean that I won't be there for you. I will still be there on your journey as long as you feel the need to need my guidance. Let's just say that. And yeah, well, that's actually all that there is to it. I think it is a beautiful journey, and because we are getting better, and that is why my slogan, that was going to be the title of my book, Fun with Detox, the Key to Health.
Yep.
And although I found detox actually a pretty abused word, but it is like, it's about your health journey.
Mm-hmm. It is. And Toni is very generous with her time and her gnosis, and she has built the Freak Sense World website, and that website is amazing. And I mean, I know she works, we will message with each other late at night, early in the morning. So I know that she is working pretty much around the clock. And we thank you so much for all of your gnosis that you give to us. And it would definitely be a wonderful time when money doesn't exist in this world anymore. So yeah, thank you so much for all that you do, Toni.
Well, thank you, Sarah, for always being there for me and helping me with all the questions that I have in life.
We help each other. And I think that's how we should be as society moving forward. I mean, just help each other is all we can, really do in any other time.
Yeah, that is what we do. And I enjoy it. I enjoy my life.
That's wonderful.
And being there for others, helping where I can, and learning. I mean, I learn from all of you. It gives me insight in life, in the things that are going on in our lives. So it's
And
always
that's why we would
beautiful.
love for people to call in too. That way we can get more from you too, and you could be part of this journey also, because not only are we possibly helping you all, but you all do help us too, and even cause us to think more, and it's just another perspective of things too. But yeah, that's wonderful. I did want to touch one more thing from Rise and Shine, 5 kiddos under 12. Um, you know, they're only little for such a small time. And when you're in it, it just feels like you're drowning the whole entire time. But just always know that it is such a short period of time that they are little. And before long, they will be up and out the door, and you'll be kind of wondering, what they're doing on their day, or they'll be in their teenage years, and there'll be a struggle there too. But just know that every time is precious, that you do have with them, and helping mold them into these wonderful little beings that they will become. And also how much you can actually learn from them too. And not everything has to be perfect in life. Your house doesn't have to look like an Instagram page, and you don't have to, just have everything perfect. And also bringing fruit into your life and into your family's life can make things a lot easier too. Breakfast will be easier. Grab some fruit. Dinner will be easier. Here's some more fruit. And it'll just help to make everybody kind of calm and everything too. And so just as hard as it is, try to really enjoy the time that you have while they're little, because it really is a precious time. And that was all I had to say on that.
Okay, well, thank you, Sarah, for the good advice.
Yes.
And I want to thank everyone for being here. And hope to see you again, hear you again. And I would say till the next time.
Yeah, next week it will be noon on Thursday. And please send your messages to healthywithfruit@gmail.com. If you want to join the show, you can call in and talk live with us, or we'll definitely try to answer all of your questions.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.